I think that it's good to help people. It's good to try to offer them food. I think that's a very important thing to do. However, most of the poverty in the United States is a spiritual poverty. This is one thing that Mother Teresa said. We want to go feed people in other worlds or in other parts of the world, but like we're not interested in giving people the kind of sustenance they need to have healthy lives, to be members of a community that's fulfilling, to have careers where they really feel like they're making a difference, and most importantly, really being part of a religious structure and praising God. People not having these things causes them to fall apart, and we don't want to acknowledge that, because our philosophy is if you just throw enough matter and rearrange material things enough, you'll solve all of the problems, and it's not true.
You know what I started
Man
doing?
is not just matter. There's a spiritual component to us that has to be fed.
Clearly. It's cultural cohesion, and that can exist in a lot of forms, some good, some bad. But we used to have cultural cohesion in this country, and now we don't.
I found if I'm walking past people on the street in a city, the desperate people, poor people, they'll be asking for money. I give them a handshake and like eye contact, and they're so much happier than if I give them a buck. Every time, like the dollar, it's like I'm just a piece of crap that like facilitated more of their misery, but like actual contact seems like what they're missing.
I think there's something to that. It can depend on the person, but yeah, there are people that like just really want somebody to talk to, you know, if you just talk to them and get to know them. Now, I give like advice on this has to be given very carefully, because it's going to be different for a young woman talking to like someone on the streets than a young man, right? Like a woman's probably putting herself in more danger in that situation. But yeah, you're right. I've had similar experiences where people like they just want someone to talk to.
Dude, I had this experience in Dallas. I was there about a month ago, and I was walking by down to the restaurant. I walked by this guy just passed out, drunk, red face on the sidewalk, and I went to get food, and I was like, I'm gonna get that guy some food on my way back. He looked miserable. And then I was eating, and I got the food, and I was about to leave, and I thought. I was walking towards him, and I thought, this guy is like a mess. And I think that humanity as a whole will be better off if I eat this food and gain some weight, some muscle mass, become a better performer. If I take care of myself, very selfish thought, be better off than if I give that guy food who's going to eat it and then drink more beer and lay there longer.
You're right.
I don't know. I just
no. It may be in that moment you should have helped a person, but the point is adequately made. If we keep giving up resources to the people who don't contribute, then you are investing in failure. So I'm not saying don't help people. I'm saying you make a good point, Ian, in that at a certain point we need to say, are we really helping these people by just giving them the food they need to lie on the ground and waste away? Or do we have to create some degree of hardship where they're forced to actually work for their food to some degree?
I think there's a middle ground between what Seamus and Ian was saying, though, and maybe we're just giving them the wrong resources. We're not giving people purpose and community, which would pull them out of that. Instead, we're giving them needles and welfare and whatever that's not helping at all.
Well, and it's crazy because like there are soup kitchens that will say like don't proselytize to the people. It's like, what? It's like a Christian organization where you're feeding people and you're not allowed to talk to them about Jesus Christ. That's insane.
Really?
Like that could help them get their life together, and you're not allowed to pass that on to them. That's nuts. It's completely insane. So I'll mention like even if you want to make the argument like, oh, these people haven't done anything to deserve the food. I mean, there's a lot I have that I don't deserve, and I'll say that in a sense, because we are also spiritually poor, in caring for the poor's physical needs, we feed ourselves spiritually. I think we need that.